Reddit stories.
Reddit stories.
Am I the asshole for mentioning Attack on Titan when my friend was venting to me about his breakup? So my friend 21 male was venting to me at 20 male about his ex 22 female and how he got dumped. They've been in a relationship for about 5 years now, and he didn't want their relationship to end, but he didn't have much of a choice as his partner didn't want to deal with him anymore. They broke up around a few weeks ago, and I met him recently, and he started venting to me about how miserable and hurt he feels over the fact that their relationship had to end. He wasn't outright crying, but I could tell he was getting really teary-eyed. It almost felt like he was on the verge of a breakdown. He eventually said something along the lines of how the idea of his ex forgetting him makes him really upset, and how the idea of being forgotten by his ex feels like death, and how he doesn't want her to forget him anytime soon, but at the same time, he also wants her to be happy and wishes she could move on. I almost started laughing hysterically because this reminded me of the ending of Attack on Titan, where the protagonist, Eren Yeager, cries over the idea of being forgotten by Mikasa Ackerman and later tells her to forget about him. The thing that made it even funnier was the fact that my friend's ex was half East Asian, like Mikasa. Wow, me being problematic. I pointed this out to him and showed him the scenes I mentioned above, hoping he'd find it funny too, but he was just upset and angry at me, and he hasn't talked to me since and blocked me on all socials. Am I the asshole here?
Okay, blocking on all socials is a little crazy. I think it's so funny. I think showing the scenes though, right. They didn't get it out of just like, oh, never mind.
But see, like,
but they're like, here, let me give you all this lore that you hate because you're like being compared to an anime right now.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
You're almost crying to me and venting to your bro, and you're like, isn't this funny scene? But that's me though. Like, you know me, anytime there's something awkward or stressful, I'm like the clown. I'm like, la, 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 la. Like, I'm just like, how can I, like when Layla's crying or something, I'm like, how can I make her laugh to speed up this negativity? Like, not like, you know, you should be able to vent and stuff like that, but I'm always like, how can I make a stressful situation less stressful? And it's usually by comedy or asking questions. So I can see me doing that.
Oh my God.
Just trying to make a joke out of something, or try to make it funny or fun.
But if they're being serious, you gotta.
I guess I would read the room a little bit, but
I will say I have been in a serious mood, and you just like joke.
I know.
You're just like always goofy. There's no like serious mode about you at all.
Right. Like everyone, yeah. I don't know. It's bad.
So
it's kind of a bad trait, but
I mean, it's not bad necessarily, but yeah, rein it in sometimes. You know what I mean? Like if I'm heartbroken and I'm like telling you this sad story,
I put on the red nose.
That reminds me of this anime.
This one time on Buffy.
Oh my God.
That's actually what that reminds me of.
Am I the asshole to divorce my husband and leave him with the kid after finding out I'm not biologically the mom? I can't believe my life has come to this. All I ever do is go out of my way to help others, but on the few occasions I need help, nobody ever comes through for me. I, 36 female, have been with my husband, 35 male, for a total of almost 10 years, married for 7. We had what I thought was my child, but by surrogate over 2 years ago, because after 4 years of trying to conceive with no success despite medical interventions, it turns out I am unable to carry a child to term. I had always wanted to be a mom. Devastated is an understatement regarding how I felt when I found out I have a medical condition that would make it nearly impossible to carry a baby to term. It was even more upsetting when I had to get a major surgery to remove uterine growths with the hope to increase fertility, and complications during surgery warranted a partial hysterectomy involving removal of my uterus only. I still had my ovaries, so we started looking into cost of surrogate. It was really expensive. My close friend since college, who had already had 2 kids of her own, wanted to offer to serve as the surrogate for us to cut down the costs. After 2 disappointing IVF sessions that did not result in pregnancy, she became pregnant on the 3rd try and carried a boy to term for us. I was so happy and busy after the birth, between being a mom and returning to work after a 4-week parental leave, so I didn't notice any warning signs. Oh, I know where this is going, and it's so bad. I should have noticed red flags and warning signs early on, but did not because I was so exhausted from working so much at my stressful job and 2 part-time jobs to cover most of the bills and anticipated medical and legal costs associated with this friend becoming our surrogate. I was the primary breadwinner. My friend and my husband started talking more, and I would sometimes come home from my weekend to find her already hanging out at our house when my husband was there. I chalked it up as innocuous, and it's good for her to know my husband better since she was in the process of hopefully carrying our child for us. I was grateful to have someone helping us have a child. I also thought it was weird that our own son has brown eyes when both of us have blue. Then I found out that while this is uncommon, it's possible sometimes due to many genes controlling eye color. Recently, it all came to a head when I took our son to a doctor's appointment and they did metabolic panel and blood tests, which showed that he had a blood type that is not biologically possible to have with me as his mother. He's B+, I'm A+, his husband is O+. Immediately, I started worrying it was the fertility clinic's fault and that they'd messed up and implanted a wrong embryo. I started lining up lawyer consultations to possibly sue the clinic and look into having a DNA parentage test done. The test results showed that I'm not the mother, but my husband still is the father. I was heartbroken and angrier than ever. Talked to lawyers about medical malpractice in the fertility clinic we used. Then my husband confessed that he had slept with my friend on a few different occasions during our struggle to have her get pregnant with our embryos. This means that I thought was our son conceived by IVF and carried with a surrogate isn't my son at all, and it was in fact conceived the old-fashioned way, which I can't ever do. Ooh. Livid and absolutely broken at the same time doesn't even begin to describe how I feel. I have been breaking down into crying spells over and over again about this. He claims he didn't ever think pregnancy could result because he pulled out. Oh, of course. And he had always assumed that he was the reason
You still cheated.
for our earlier struggles to conceive. Both before my hysterectomy. So he was saying like, oh, I thought it was me that was...
Oh, like bad sperm.
Yeah, bad sperm, of course. Both before my hysterectomy and during the IVF insemination process with my friend. I felt an immediate triple betrayal. Ooh, damn. My husband and friend surrogate admit that they were wrong, but keep apologizing, but also calling me immature and heartless to just give up on my son like that.
Well,
because he left, and it's like, she left, and it's like, well, that's the thing is like, if you go to court,
you have nothing. Yeah,
she's not the mom.
They would just throw it out immediately. They'd
yeah, because they do DNA tests and they'd be like,
well,
okay.
They did a DNA test. They figured it out, and he admitted to it. So they would be like,
so they already have the DNA test.
You're just completely kicked out of the equation anyway. So you have no rights at all whatsoever. I think that would be the worst part, and it wouldn't be abandoning your child. One, because it's not your child, but two, like, that's gonna be so much work, like so much dicking around, because she'd have to deal with the woman, deal with the husband for parental custody. That'd be triple custody, triple the events, triple. I guess if the surrogate doesn't want anything to do anything with it.
Okay, imagine like somebody like cheated on you and the result is a baby, and they're like, well, you're the mom, so like, why are you leaving? It's like, I'm getting about it.
Right. This is a
fuck
shit show.
Baby.
Well, and then it's like,
baby in the face.
Think about it though, like it's gonna be heartbreaking for you, but if it's a baby and you leave tomorrow, he's not gonna know you even exist. If they never talk about you or never bring you up ever again, like he's not gonna know about you as the not mom. The trauma for the baby would be not as great. I think if you stayed in and fucked up the whole thing, I don't know. I think that would be, and just like stayed in the kid's life and dealt with the surrogate / friend and the dad and the divorce and all that stuff. But I guess if he was a baby, he wouldn't know anything. He wouldn't know any better. I would beat the shit out of my friend.
2 years old, the kid is.
Oh no. He knows who you are. Crazy. That sucks. Then it's too late. Like if he was like 2 months old.
I mean, I get. Oh no, because it's like,
no.
Every time you see the kid, it's like, then you know.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
not
no,
your kid. You know what I mean? How do you properly parent somebody
yeah.
that you like secretly hate?
Well,
And
yeah,
not even hate them, but like hate the reason they're alive.
yeah, exactly. Like
Like,
that.
how do you properly parent in that
Yeah,
situation?
the only thing I'm thinking about every time you walk in the room, I'm thinking, wow, you look like my friend and your dad.
Yeah.
And now I have to teach you math.
Well, it's like they can't stay together, so it's like, why would they force? Oh,
right. And then, like, what an idiot. Like, how old is this guy? He was 35. Oh, the pull out method. It's like, what are you, 12? Like,
that is so crazy.
come on. You know that's not how sperm and penises and vaginas work.
Her husband, my husband and parents think I'm in the wrong.
Her parents think she's in the wrong? Or his parents?
Let me, because I read that to you there. My parents also say I can't give up on a kid that I went through so many legal and medical hoops to have.
I mean, if he's 2, no. Like I said, if he was 2 weeks old or 2 months old, that's different. But if he's 2, then you're his mom.
Ooh, they're all about me divorcing my. So they're. But like, that's the thing. You divorce your husband, and like that's part of the process is who has custody. And it's like,
Yeah. Well, I bet like if they went through the correct legal hoops and now because she was a surrogate,
oh, that trial would be so complicated.
yeah, the judge is like, hold on. But I guess like if they went through the correct legal hoops and she was the mom and he was the dad legally, the surrogate's kicked out of it because she probably gave up
she's on
parental
the
rights.
birth control.
She gave up
certificate still. You know,
the new mom. Or I mean the
like
fake mom.
Like not the friend.
Yeah.
The mom. It's
Yeah.
probably on the birth certificate.
The one that wants to be the mom. So then I guess it probably would just be like a regular divorce then. Because if she gave up her parental rights as a surrogate, she's kicked out of the equation to, so that does make sense.
First of all, let's give it to the mother's decision.
Oh, yeah.
Or not like the mother. You know what I mean? Let's give this woman her own decision to decide. I mean, she's on Am I the Asshole to get advice?
Yeah. That's a hard one. I guess I wouldn't abandon my kid if he was 2. Obviously, that's bad. But I would kick that husband out. I'd be like, you have 30 seconds to pack up your house, anything you need. And that's the max amount of time I'm giving you. And you will never see this kid ever again. Or like, you will never step foot in this house ever again.
How do you just like go about raising a child like that? That's so crazy. Okay.
See, I would have to like,
we gotta go to the next one.
What I would have to do is I would have to completely pluck me and the kid out of the whole situation. Like move out of St. Cloud, move out of Minnesota, move to Hawaii, completely kick out all my friends and family because I can't deal with any of them spilling the beans. And then that's how I'd move on.
Yeah, definitely not the asshole, obviously.
Right.
In that situation, do what makes you comfortable.
Yeah.
What I would do, no idea. I probably wouldn't keep the kid because I'm like, I can't imagine like just being like, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Because I'm thinking about the child's upbringing as well.
Mm-hmm.
What's worse? Being like split with somebody? Oh, I don't know what's worse.
Yeah. Am I the asshole for going to HR about a coworker? I, 24 female, work in an admin position at a mid-sized tech company. I've been here for about a year now and generally get along with my coworkers. However, something happened recently that's left me really shaken and I need to know if I did the right thing. I'm a lesbian, and while I don't go around broadcasting my sexuality, I also don't hide it. Most of my close coworkers know. I even have a little frog holding a lesbian flag heart as my email profile picture, and it's never been an issue until now. Last week, I was chatting with a couple of my coworkers during lunch, and the topic of relationships came up. One of my coworkers, let's call him Mike, overheard me mention my girlfriend. I didn't think much of it at the time, but later that day, Mike approached me in the break room. Mike has always been very friendly towards me, even a bit flirty. When he came up to me, he seemed really agitated and asked if it was true that I was gay. When I confirmed it, he just lost it. He started yelling about how it was unnatural and how he didn't want to work with someone like me.
Woof.
Yeah. Then he went on a rant about how I was wasting my potential. What? And that I should be with a real man like him. He said I could be a stay-at-home mom. Oh my God. I could be a stay-at-home mom to my husband's kids and live a normal life. He was loud enough that people from nearby offices came to see what was happening. I was completely shocked and didn't know how to respond. I just stood there while he ranted. Eventually, another coworker intervened and told Mike to back off. I went straight to HR and reported the incident. The HR department took my complaint seriously, and after a short investigation, Mike was fired for harassment, as apparently this wasn't the first time that he's done this to a woman in the office. After this happened, one of Mike's friends in the office told me that Mike had wanted to ask me out and was really upset he found out I was gay. Mike has since been blaming me for his firing on social media, telling anyone who will listen that I ruined his career over a misunderstanding. How is it a misunderstanding? Now, a few of my coworkers are giving me the cold shoulder. Some of them think I overreacted, that I should have just ignored Mike or talked it out with him privately.
Ew.
I feel like I did the right thing by reporting him, but the reaction from some of my coworkers is making me doubt myself. No. This is like what I'm like a huge like advocate for, is telling people they're racist, telling people they're homophobic to their face, making them uncomfortable.
Like when you go to work, you should feel comfortable to like just work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if like that's ever like messed with, like it's got to change.
It's creating a negative work environment. And then it's like, this is such like the toxic masculinity thing. Like, oh, you'd be a good stay-at-home wife. It's like, oh, like gross, get the fuck away from me. Or like normal, he said you could be normal. It's like, I am normal, like I'm perfectly fine. Like I hate that toxic masculinity where it's like men are men and women are women. You know, it's so gross. I would have done the exact same thing. I'd have been like, HR, you get in here immediately. And then especially if it's not his first time, like why would, and then what makes it worse is that people are like, oh, it's just a misunderstanding.
Well, that's
it's
the thing is like,
if somebody told me at work that I needed a real woman, I'd be like,
oh, you're being dramatic.
Yeah.
Like what? Okay, well, so like, okay, I'm being dramatic, then why did HR fire him?
Yeah, exactly. It's a fireable offense, and it's offensive in general.
Like I'm being dramatic. I'm reporting what I see.
Yeah.
The actions that fall after
are upon him.
Yeah.
And then also if other people have to intervene because of his grossness, you know.
Yeah, if somebody had to come say back off.
Yeah.
Oh, and I hate running into situations where you have like you're the first responder and you have to step in.
Oh yeah.
Like I know like that's bad to say or whatever. Not bad to say, but I just hate being put in that situation. And so like, yeah, if I saw that, I'd be like, fuck you, dude.
See, and I couldn't handle that because I'd probably get in a fight and then I would also be fired.
Oh yeah, me too. Not a fight, but I'd be like, back the fuck off, buddy. Hey,
yeah.
yo, what
I would
the
definitely,
fuck?
I'd probably get heated, equally as heated, and I'd be like, watch your fucking mouth or I'm gonna pop off on you.
I'd be like, do it. Not only do I hate you because you're a fucking weirdo,
misogynist,
but now I hate you because I have to like raise my voice and get in between you
and get emotional.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it's very much like if I can't have you, nobody can, kind of. You know, if he was trying to ask her out and then he found out she was a lesbian, it's like he can't, you know, that men can't handle that, you know,
right.
Rejection. And it's like, well, she didn't reject you. It was never a thing because she has a girlfriend. So you have just invented this scenario in your head and now you're mad about it. Seems cool.
Okay, am I the asshole for not wanting too much contact with my mother-in-law after she accused me of making my daughter gay? I, female 45, grew up in a very loving, supportive, and open-minded family where no one was deemed wrong or lesser because of their ethnicity, religious belief, sexual orientation, etc. My husband, male 43, is from a very different family. His parents are quite conservative, have misconceptions about it, and prejudices against the LGBT plus community and immigrants, and I often have to bite my tongue to not cause a huge discussion. Their racist views are extra hard to swallow as I'm not white. When my husband and I became involved, I really hoped that I wouldn't get close to his parents as my own beloved parents are dead. Oh, I really hope that I would get close to his parents because my own parents are dead. But I just can't feel at home or relax with them, although I've been part of their family for almost 20 years. Now for the problem at hand. 6 months ago, my husband told me that his mother had told him that she thought I was consciously trying to turn our daughter gay.
So her sister-in-law,
No, mother-in-law.
no, wife is trying to turn husband's sister gay.
Husband's their daughter gay.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Our kid is a teenager and is non-binary and gay and uses they them. Mother-in-law also said that she thought I had pushed this agenda since the beginning. This shocked me and honestly made me quite angry and very disappointed. I didn't know, or maybe I didn't want to know, how hostile she was towards the LGBT plus community, and I'm concerned for our kid. They have already told me in all confidentiality that they don't really like grandma and grandpa anymore because they have overheard of some of the demeaning and insulting things their grandparents have said, not only about LGBT plus people, but also people of color. Well, I'm used to talk about it if conflicts arise, and so I called mother-in-law to hear, essentially saying, like, I'll talk about it with her. So I called mother-in-law to hear her version and give her a chance to apologize. I was very careful not to sound aggressive or accusatory. This is me. Hello, I'm calling because I wanted to talk to you about something. Husband says you told him that you think I tried to influence our kid to be gay. Is that correct, or did he misunderstand you? She was clearly taken by surprise because she was silent for a long time and then she said yes. She had said that, but she could see nothing wrong with it and was entitled to her own opinion. A phrase she used multiple times during that conversation. I tried to ask her why in the world I would do that. No answer. I told her that not only would I be crazy if I tried that, but it would also be futile since sexuality isn't something you can choose. No answer. I tried appealing to her sense of empathy by asking how she would feel if it was her mother-in-law saying something like that about her. No answer. I asked her why she only accused me of this and not her son since he is the parent too. No answer. The only thing she kept saying was that she was entitled to her own opinion. Well, then back it the fuck up.
Yeah.
You open the gates, say what you want to fucking say.
Yep.
At last I lost it because she said that she didn't like this conversation and that I should calm down and stop being a drama queen. I cut the connection in the middle of her defense. Then all communication stopped. She has always liked and commented on my social media updates, and especially the ones about her grandchildren. Now everything was ignored. Even my kid's birthday and mine. I find it petty and childish, but okay. Last month we had to visit mother-in-law and father-in-law because of a big family thing. I decided to go and didn't want the event to be ruined by potential drama, so I wrote to mother-in-law saying I was going to attend and wasn't interested in anything bad happening. I apologized for cutting our last telephone conversation short, but not for anything else. She wrote back and accepted my apology. She clearly thought I apologized for the whole thing in general, although I have no idea what she thinks I should apologize for. Since then, she likes and comments my post again. I've told my husband that I'm going to lose contact with his parents. I will attend if there is a wedding, an anniversary, or funeral, but I will not be visiting them otherwise, and I will not be home if they come to stay at our home. They live in another part of the country, so we don't see them too often. Okay. All of this is bothering me a lot. Since our child was born, I have been very active in encouraging a strong bond between them and their grandparents because I can't offer them any family. But parent-in-law's values and worldview is so far from ours, and now that they have shown us that they can't even respect our grandchildren and their sexuality, I don't feel like they have a right to be close to any of us. I'm not telling my kid not to see their grandparents, but I'm not encouraging either. Am I the asshole for going LC and still being angry and hurt? P.S. We're not Americans. We live in a European country. Definitely not the asshole.
Yeah, I would
protect
say
your peace and your child's peace.
Depending on how old the kids are, if they're 15, 16, I'd be like, you can talk to grandma and grandpa if you want. It's up to you. You're big kids now. But if they were if my kid came out to me at 8 years old and they can't drive there or they can't fly there wherever they live, I'd be like, you are not seeing your grandma and grandpa again. Period. Full stop. And I would tell my husband that. I'd be like, the answer is no. If I ever find out you bring my non-binary kid to your bigot family's house, we're done. Cut off.
I think they're old enough.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they use they them pronouns.
Yeah, but
they said that they're just You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, they're old enough to say, like, I don't like them.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they would want to go either.
Right, exactly, that too. But yeah, it's like if my kid was, you know, like I said, if they came out really young and they were like 8, I'd be like, you're never going over there ever again because I'm the parent and I say so. But if they were at like 20, obviously you can't do anything about it. But then
to say it to not back it up, like,
well, and that's like all those types of people's, like the religious people's argument. They're like, it's in the Bible, and it's like, show me, give me the script, show me the page number, and they're like,
I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to speak your fucking mind and like harm our family with these accusations.
You are creating drama. You're creating tension. You're like creating tension and trauma for your child or grandchildren.
You're entitled to your delusion.
You're entitled to your incorrect opinion.
But not entitled to accuse us and then not say anything.
Yeah, exactly. Facts. Give me facts. Statistics. Hurry.
I'd be like,
quick.
hello. God, I'd hate that so much if I was asking questions and they didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
let's go.
Hello, Linda. Is the phone connection okay, Linda?
Alma, turn up your battery.
Linda.
Yeah, I would immediately be like, don't ever contact us again. Full stop.
I'm entitled to my opinion. Okay, but I'm asking you about your opinion because you opened your big fat mouth.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to hear more about it, please. So please continue.
And then also, yeah, like what she said, why is it my fault and not the husband's fault?
Oh, you're entitled to your opinion? Well, you shared your opinion, so now I'm entitled to your opinion. So give me your fucking opinion.
And now I'm going to tell you my opinion on you.
Yeah.
Go choke on a sausage.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but like, what is that? I want to hear what the husband had to say.
Oh, yeah.
Because he better have fucking said something. Because if he's like a mama's boy and is like, oh,
she's old. She's
as
set
the husband,
in her ways.
That's the thing. Is like the husband should have been like, you're done. We're done.
We're done, Mom.
We're not talking anymore. Like that's what the husband should have been doing. Why is it the woman that always has to be like, we're not talking. We're keeping our peace. All these freaking mother boys.
See, and I'm the type of person that's so like confrontational with these types of things. I don't care if you're my 6-year-old niece. I don't care if you're my 60-year-old mom. I don't care if you're my 600-year-old grandma. If you're my husband's mom. If you're my husband's grandma. If you're a bigot, and I'm gonna call you out to your face.
For real.
Like if your grandpa was like fuck fags, I'd be like, fuck you, you old man. I'm gonna push your wheelchair over and that's where you're gonna lay until you decide to not be a bigot.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm just that type of person. That's because you have to speak up on those things and make these people uncomfortable. And it's not our job to educate stupid people.
I agree, but I also find that like ignoring them completely, like pretending that they don't exist,
maybe
also works.
That's true.
There's two coins to this because I often do just like, which again has never really happened to me. There was one time in school where somebody called me a queer and I like pretended it didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
And like, I know they say like, oh, just don't like ignore the haters, but like I know that he just felt dumb. Yeah. Because I just kept walking. Or you know what I mean? He's like queer. And I just kept walking. I know he felt dumb.
I know. I love it too when, you know, it's like Marjorie Taylor Greene, going back to that. It's like they made fun of her and people are laughing at her now. And that's what they hate too. Yeah. It's like I'd be like, oh my God, Grandma, you said those stupid, awful things. Like
if you don't say anything and you just ignore it too, like it is kind of just like not giving them power as well.
Well,
or confront it.
Yeah.
Confront, but don't like laugh along with it or whatever. You know
no,
what
I mean like laugh at them.
Yeah.
Like I'd be like, oh my God, that was the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, Grandma. You're the dumbest, oldest bigot in the world. Yeah. You're pathetic. That's embarrassing for you. You should be really embarrassed. Jump off a bridge.
Yeah. If I got something like that, I probably would just ignore it. But then also I'd be like, because, okay, so here's just, this is what I like about ignoring it. Because then you don't have to worry about sounding dumb with a comeback. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Because sometimes I come back with something and I just sound so dumb. And I'm like,
but
yeah.
See, you laugh. You laugh like a hyena.
Yeah.
See, and then but those are types of situations where they're like the shower arguments Or like you're laying in bed at 3 a.m. and you're like, fuck, I should have told.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So
I should have told grandma
any-
that, and I should have got her. And you're just laying in bed and you're just like,
but if you,
that was such a good comeback.
So if you don't say anything, obviously within reason, like if somebody is like assaulting somebody else, like obviously step in.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying like, oh, I just ignore. Crimes do not happen in my eyes. Like,
Right.
like if somebody's like, to me, if somebody's like, yeah, if somebody is being a bitch to somebody else, I'm gonna step in, you know what I mean? But if somebody's saying something to me, I usually just like ignore it, because like, yeah, if you do say something stupid, then you do think about, oh, I should have said this, oh, I should have said that. But if you say nothing, it just almost feels, you're like, yes, they said nothing,
right?
But I just know that they like,
and they're seething, because they want the fight.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
You know, they want to rise out of you or whatever.
If it was my kid, though, no holding me back.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If it's somebody else, for sure, I think I would step in.
I would go full psycho mama bear and be like, I would go to that other side of the country where grandma is.
There is something about it happening to somebody else that just incites a fire in you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they can't really fight back in that situation, you know what I mean?
I just think about it as like the grandparent standpoint, because it's like, these are your grandchildren, and then it's like, you should love your grandkids no matter what. And then but that's like, and that's what I just can't wrap my brain around. And I know we've had conversations about this before, where it's like, how can you not wrap your brain around?
Or how about like
if I'm a bigot and I don't think gay people are real, and I think being gay is a choice, and then all of a sudden like, there's a wrench thrown in and my grandkid is non-binary, like, wouldn't that just like trigger something in your brain to be like, I should probably figure out what being non-binary is, and then say they them pronouns, or not dead name them, and like try to, as a normal positive intelligent grandparent, like you'd think you'd be like, okay, I don't like gay people, my grandkid's gay, I got to take that path now because that's the correct thing to do.
Well, and
instead they just double down with being a bigot. And it's like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
And I think that whole trope of, they're old, they're set in their ways is so fake. Like the second you find out that saying the N-word is wrong, like you learn that in first grade, never say the N-word ever again. Or saying like, like, I can't call my buddy a fag anymore because it's bad. It's like, the second you learn that in first grade, anything after that is you are actively being a bigot.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about like even my grandparents, they grew up in the fucking, I mean, yeah, they're still pretty racist. Not gonna lie.
One of my favorite things was that whatever military your grandpa was in, and I don't remember who these people are, and I'm so bad with names, and why were we even talking about this shit? It was something for your grandpa. Your grandpa was getting honored for something at the hospital. And I think it's Lisa's aunt or uncle. And they're like, so Zach, like, what do you do? And I was like, I work at a bank. And they're like, no, like, what do you like do? Like, do you do like the cooking, the cleaning?
They asked if you're the man. They asked if you're the man or the woman.
Basically asking if I was the husband or the wife in the relationship. They're like, well, do you like to do like the cooking and cleaning, or do you like do like the like mechanics and like painting and shit like that? And I'm like, well, and my defense was, whatever chores I don't get done, Thomas takes care of, and vice versa. I was like, if Thomas does all the laundry, good. If I do all the laundry, great.
I know, and I remember this too, and I was like, yeah, and like, there's thing like I like doing the laundry or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, some people.
It was really fun. That was like
they have to like wrap their head around it. It's like
that was like
all women love to clean. It's like you don't though. You're just forced.
No one likes cleaning.
So like when the gender roles are broken, you do what you want to do first, and then whoever the fuck wants to do it after, you know what I mean? It's so funny to me, like people like can't fathom like, but the roles,
Well, or just like, what do they think? Like you come home from work and I have your slippers and a martini waiting for you, and
like we've
baked
never
to go
cleaned
roast.
the toilet.
Yeah.
No, I think they think that we just live in a hovel and
Again,
who's cleaning?
who's cleaning?
Who's cooking?
2 men. They don't know how to cook and clean.
That's what they think. So
It
they're
always-
like curious. They're
again,
like, who cleans?
To continue talking about, it's always the husband. I love it when they go on the rants of when the husband kills the wife and they have, because he doesn't want the kids taken away in the divorce.
Yeah,
and they're like
divorced.
in the divorce, and they're like, men don't want the children. They're like, men don't know where their underwear is. They don't know who their doctor is. Who's their teacher? When are their conferences? What sports are they in? What medications do they take? And they just go on and on and on and on about the men not knowing what to do. And I'm like, that's what that makes me think of. Like,
right, they just thought that we like our house is on fire.
we have a maid because she's a woman and she does all the work for us.
Oh, all that shit's for women. So
you're just like
shit in a corner. Go to McDonald's.
Sometimes we play rock paper scissors for whoever empties the poop bucket.
No, I flip a coin. Heads I win. Tails Zach loses. And then whenever Zach loses, he has to clean the toilet poop.
Clean the splatter
poop bucket.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking it, you guys.
On that note,
I
gotta go clean the poop bucket.
Yeah.
I lost.
Thanks so much for listening to another episode.
Thanks for coming.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Tell your friends.
You can do it on Spotify. You can do it on YouTube. You can say things like, oh yeah, if you have subreddits,
yes,
good subreddits that are like tea spilling, or storytelling. We love the drama. We love the drama. And if that's, the nice thing about like all of these, you can like search like queer or gay like within the subreddit, and like it's super fun. So that's usually how I do it, to find gay ones, to find queer ones.
We like the gay ones.
But anyways, see you next Monday.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to a few.
New episodes out every Monday.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Flamingly Unfiltered for updates.
Now available.
Available.
Now available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Apple Pod.
Apple Pod.